Yo, we already acting up, y'all. Everybody's saying we haven't looked dominant in the first month, which is, to be fair, kind of true. We was just warming up, though. We back on that bullshit again. PSV may not be a huge team or anything, but they haven't lost a game yet this season. They not ass. We fried the shit out of them, though. Like, this is what I was talking about a couple weeks ago when I said I just want a game where I don't have to stress. Every single win this season so far has been a one goal or last second win where my blood pressure went through the roof and I shouted at my TV for the last half hour. This game was calm. We'll get back to Arsenal later, though, because Bayern versus United was fucking hilarious. I don't know if Onana just lost all his skill the moment he put on a United shirt, but he meant ass. They signed him because he was good with his feet, but at this point, put him in the midfield because he ain't stopping shit. You probably better off shooting it straight at him than trying to curl it around him, to be honest. I'm convinced he couldn't save a beach ball coming at him at 3 miles an hour. That Sané shot he let in was light work. I literally feel like I could have saved that. Put me in, coach. I low-key feel bad for him. Everybody who's ever played any sport knows this feeling. He don't even want to look at his teammates. He already know they're looking at him crazy. United have only won 2 of their 6 games this season, and if we being real, they was lucky as hell to even win those 2 games. Had to come back from 2 down to be forced and got saved by the refs versus Wolves. It's surprising how ass they've been. I'm honestly impressed they put 3 past Bayern on the road because they didn't even play that well. I've been saying since the first week that they'd eventually figure it out and go on a random run, but the way things going right now, I really don't see that happening anytime soon. Rashford supposed to be a superstar according to some United fans. They still talking about his potential. He finna be 26 in a month. Give it up, y'all. I really don't think he could ever be the best player on a title-winning team. He can be one of the main contributors, but I don't ever see him being the one leading his team to a title. I'm going to be honest. He looked lazy as shit out there against Bayern. Look at the Sané goal, for example. He just out there chilling. The defense already got the sturdiness of a soaked paper towel. At least help as much as you can, bro. Bayern didn't even play all that well either, and the ending added a little bit of drama, but overall it was pretty much what I expected. Of all the teams in this group, United isn't the one I expect to end up beating Bayern at all. Forget about beating Bayern, though. Does United even make it out of this group? Galatasaray is a solid team. Don't let the draw fool you. They was frying Copenhagen in that first half. Mertens, Torreira, and Icardi were picking that defense apart. They just didn't do that well finishing-wise. I firmly believe Icardi would do damage to that sorry-ass United defense. Barcelona absolutely dogged Royal Antwerp. Was it a good win? Yes, absolutely. Have I ever heard of them in my life? No. At this point, I'm convinced that Chelsea actually does ruin players because Felix has been bugging ever since he arrived at Barcelona. How many attackers have gone over there and started smelling instantly? I'm starting to lose count. This club got to be cursed or something. Please don't ruin Nkunku. He's so tough. Felix put up 2 goals and had an assist. I'm pretty sure he's found himself a new home, even though he's technically on loan right now. The famous group of death wasn't so deadly on opening day. PSG was the only team in the group that scored. Their game versus Dortmund wasn't bad by any means. PSG dominated possession-wise, and if it wasn't for some outstanding last-second tackles by Dortmund defenders and a few lucky bounces, it might have been 3-0 by halftime because Mbappe and Vitinha were running riot on that field. In the other game from this group, Milan and Newcastle gave us 90 minutes of nothing. Well, Newcastle was doing nothing. Milan was terrorizing Nick Pope, but he was pretty unfazed, and he kept the game locked at 0. Not gonna lie, I expected Newcastle to get dropped off by like 3. I'm surprised they managed to get a point. They can't play like that against PSG, though. Mbappe is not Giroud. He will absolutely dust their entire defense. Jude Bellingham got another last-second game winner. It's just getting ridiculous at this point. He should be playing his actual position, but shit, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. If he keeps scoring, he keeps scoring. Fuck it. Manchester City's game was hilarious. Pep most definitely popped numerous blood vessels in that first half. My boy was stressing. Haaland was missing sitters. Their keeper was playing like prime buffing. Then they get a breakthrough right before the half, and City go to the locker room actually losing. I don't know what Pep threatened his team with in that locker room, but it definitely had Alvarez shook because he was not messing around. Him and Haaland's striker partnership is genuinely scary, and they're both well under 25. They're going to terrorize the Prem for years. All right. Player of the Week, Champions League edition. We have 3 nominees this week. First is João Felix, a brace and an assist to top it all off. Wasn't against any crazy competition, but it's still a big performance. Second nominee is Jamal Musiala. He didn't score for Bayern, but don't let that fool you. He put up a monstrous performance. He assisted Gnabry's goal, and he was absolutely shredding that United defense. The midfield literally belonged to him all game till he was subbed out. Our third nominee is Julian Alvarez. 2 huge goals that literally saved City because even a draw with Zvezda would have been kind of embarrassing. I know Rodri won player of the match, but Alvarez was my personal player of the match. They each have solid cases, but I'm honestly going to give it to Musiala. That was an outrageous performance. He ran circles around one of the best defensive midfielders in the world. He's still only 20 and one of the best midfielders playing right now. The Jude versus Musiala debates are obviously going to continue, but they both did what they had to do in their first UCL games of the year. Felix's performance was still great, and I'm not mad if anyone says he's player of the week, but torching Manchester United is a little more impressive than torching Royal Antwerp, in my opinion. Usually I would say our not player of the week nominees first, but I think it's pretty clear that it's going to be Onana this week. I'm sorry, that first Bayern goal is just so egregious. How do you let that get through? I personally had a great time watching the opening games, mainly because Arsenal won. Saka got his first UCL goal, then Trossard scored his first UCL goal, then Jesus and Odegaard scored their first ones for Arsenal. It was bullying. I loved it. We're back to another weekend of club football soon, and I'm going to be up bright and early Sunday for the North London Derby. Tottenham been playing like they ain't even need Kane, and I don't like that. We need to win this game. I'm going to see y'all real soon, probably after that game, actually. Catch y'all.